What's happening, everybody? Dante here with a new PC build for 2016. I'm making this build because I'm going to be slowly moving over to doing 4K video. So I definitely wanted a system I can use that can just really cut through that 4K processes and all that other stuff, all that good stuff. And when it comes to dealing with 4K, because the files for 4K is a lot larger than regular 1080p, so you definitely need a system that can handle all that. So let's go and get into this PC build and some of the parts I'm going to be using for this PC build. And first up is the Intel Core 5820K. Now this is an unlocked version, so definitely I can overclock it. Definitely will be doing that. It's clocked at 3.3 gigahertz, so I'm going to overclock it to 4.3. So this process allows me to handle 4K with no problem. See, 6 core, 8 core, and all the higher cores is perfect for 4K. You could do it with a quad core, but I definitely recommend getting 6 cores to 8 cores when it comes to processing 4K video, because the files are so much longer and you just need that processing power. And you know, Windows sees this as a 12 core processor, so I'm definitely going to need all that processing power when it comes to editing 4K video. Next up is the Corsair H80i GT. Now I got this because you need something to cool that bad boy when we come to the process. So I definitely like this cooler, because I could have went with the H100i, sorry about that. But I really like this process because it's really a lot smaller that could fit into the case that I'm going to be using for this build. But I definitely got this cooler because I really like this cooler. I used it for my last build, well, not this previous version right here, but I definitely use this because I just like the whole process of how it's going to fit in my case and everything. So I definitely like this when it comes to cooling that CPU. Next up is my power supply. This is the Corsair 750. This is 750 watt power supply, because I could go with 1000 watt or 1200 watt, and definitely if I want to throw in an extra graphics card or more RAM or things like that, I could definitely do that. But for me, this is fine right here, because you only use about 500 watts anyway when it comes to a PC build, unless you do like this over godly like PC build that's just like crazy, like where you have like 4 graphics card and all this other stuff, man. You know, that crazy stuff. But for me, this is going to be good for me because I'm only going to use 500 watts when it comes to processing and all that other stuff. But this is perfect. You only ran me about 80 bucks, so you know, you can't go wrong with a nice little 750 watt power supply. If you want to go 1000, nothing wrong with that too. Next up is my motherboard. I got the Gigabyte G1 Sniper H6. This is a gaming motherboard, of course, you know. It handles all the processing and all the things like that. It can allow me up to have 32 gigabytes of RAM on this bad boy. It has PCI ports for graphics card. I can put 2 on here, a PCI slot for, you know, a Wi-Fi card, things like that, Bluetooth, and all this other stuff. So this card is pretty good right here. I used a Gigabyte in my last build. I definitely like the motherboards. To make pretty good. ASUS make good ones too. You know, I'm not hating on ASUS, but I like Gigabyte. But this right here is perfect for what I'm going to be doing, because when it comes to building a video editing machine, I always try to make a video game like motherboard. I'm sorry, I'm pissed off. I always like to make a PC that's built for playing games, because when you use the graphics card and things like that, you just have more processing power, and the graphics card are built for things like graphic design, all that other stuff. When it comes to video editing, photo editing, audio editing, all that stuff, like when you make a gaming PC, it's pretty much can handle all that. I mean, if you let you do some really high intensive stuff. But this is good right here. Ultra durable, all that stuff. Hey, this motherboard's good to me. Looking forward to using it. Next up is my graphics card. Now this is the MSI R7 370 gaming card right here. Sorry about that. Like I said, I got this one because this has a 4K abilities right here. I got this one because I see that I was like, okay, I'm going to be moving over to 4K. Like my motherboard supports 4K. This supports 4K. Now, pretty much all graphics cards nowadays are starting to support 4K, so it's not a big deal. It's like one unlimited edition type one. But I definitely want to be going over to 4K, you know. So I definitely need a graphics card, a motherboard, and all that other stuff that could allow me to do that. That's why I got the 6-core processor, because, you know, when it comes to 4K, you need that processing power to, you know, when you're video editing, photo editing, all those type of things when it comes to 4K. So I definitely got this gaming card. Overclock edition, of course, you know, if I want to. I probably won't be overclocking this. And this has about 1000 CUDA cores, so I could definitely use the CUDA cores for this for Adobe Premiere, which I use all the time, because you want to take some of the process off the CPU, so you definitely want to use the graphics card's CUDA cores to limit all the strain you're going to be putting on the CPU. You can put on the graphics card. So that's why I got this card right here. And this time around, like last time, I'm going with 32 gigabytes of RAM. Now, like I said, the more RAM I throw at Adobe Premiere programs and things like that, the more processing power and everything just runs a lot smoother. Like I seen one guy left me a comment down below one time. He had like 8 gigs in his, and it works fine. Like I'm not saying it doesn't work, But the more RAMs you throw at these programs for Adobe, like Audition, Premiere, After Effects, all those type of programs like that, the more RAM you got, the more things run smoother. So I definitely got 32 gigabytes of RAM. Can't go wrong with this. I think they're pretty inexpensive. I think they were both like I think it was like 80 bucks a piece. So it's kind of like 160 bucks for both of them. So can't beat that. You know what I mean? Because RAM is pretty much inexpensive now. Because now they got DDR4 and DDR5. That's people are moving over to, but are really more expensive than DDR3. So that's what I went with. When it comes to saving these programs and all this other stuff, I got a Samsung 850 EVO SSD. It's a 120 gigabyte though. I'm gonna put all my programs and all my stuff I'm going to be using on this and my Windows OS on here, so I could just put everything on this one and just save everything on my Western Digital Caviar Green. This is a terabyte hard drive. I didn't get two because I don't really, a lot of times I start erasing stuff and get rid of stuff. Some people have like 4 or 5 hard drives, but for me, 1 terabyte is fine, because after a while, if I don't use the video no more, I can pretty much erase it. But if I want to go back to it, I can always put it in Google Drives and go back to it. So, you know, it's not that big a deal for me. But this is what I'm going to be using. I'm going to be using this to put my programs on and Windows 10 on here and things like that. So I can just put all my programs on my SSD so I can make it run a lot faster, a lot smoother. And just use this for storage for my videos, my pictures, and all that other stuff. But that's pretty much what I'm going to be using for that. The case I'm going to be using for this build is the Fractal Define R4. Now, I don't have it right now. It's on its way shipment. It took a little while for some odd reason, but I just wanted to make this video, just show you the parts pretty much. But I'm going to be using that case because I used the Corsair in my last build, and that was okay. But I just wanted to use, everybody used this Fractal Define R4, so I was like, all right, let me see what it's all about. And I seen it. I like the pictures of it, and one of the reasons why I like this case, because other generations of this case, they had that glass on the side. I really don't like the glass on the side of the case. I don't. I just like a whole straight, boards on both sides. No glass on this side, no glass on that side. I really hate the glass, but you know, for this case, it is all sealed in, no glass, no nothing. But I like this case. It's all black, of course. You know, I like my tech to be all black. But when it comes to, you know, putting the parts in, I've seen a lot of guys use this case, and it seems a lot cleaner when it comes to cable management. My last build I had really bad cable management, and this time I'm gonna try to see if I can do a better job doing some cable management. But I want to thank you guys for watching this little parts to my PC build for 2016. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed this. If you did, hit that like button and stay tuned. So I'm gonna do the video for the building process, putting it all together, show you how it's done. Now everybody probably hasn't seen it, but I just want to show you guys how I do it and make things a lot easier for you down the road if you want to build your own PC someday in the future. Thank you guys for everything, and I'll see you in the next video.